Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Ronald, I'm from 360 Creators, and in this video I would like to talk about the limitations using VR and 3DVista and how to overcome them. In this video specifically focused on the e-learning aspect of things. How to get e-learning working in VR, sending a report and stuff like that. But first of all, let's start off a little bit with to sketch, to indicate what's going on in 3DVista and what are the limitations. So there's a few of those things. The very first thing is the skin actually. When you're using the skin, all the elements that are in there will disappear after you enter the VR mode. So you can only have like a VR button that has a media action to open the VR. But that's it. After that, it will disappear as well. So that's the only thing that makes sense in VR, in the skin. Other than that, all these other things like quiz scores and pop-ups, info windows, all these things will just disappear and not work. Another thing is the actions. So the action types over here, there's actions that have this blue VR icon that indicate that the action is VR compatible. And a lot of actions that do not have that, as you can see. So open album video doesn't work, 360 video does work, audio does work. Pop-up video does work, but pop-up media doesn't, and open info window also does not. Web frame does not, open URL does not, execute JavaScript does. And the reason why this is interesting is with execute JavaScript, you can also open up a URL, which I'll show up later in the video. Yeah, well, show out components as a skin doesn't work, but hotspots do work. So we got to figure out like what we can deal with. And when you're looking a little bit closer to the e-learning, it shows the blue icon, but you click on it and it shows you that those 5 actions do work, but those 3 do not. And question card is one of the main important things of e-learning that are supposed to work. And it doesn't, so maybe it should not show this blue icon here. I don't know. Yeah, that's with actions. We mentioned the skin. Yeah, variables also do not show up, like score 1 or whatever, those kind of things. Floor plan doesn't work, so in VR, that's something to keep in mind. And when you're inside the panoramas hotspots, you have those 5 things. So the polygon, the text, the image, the video, and the web frame hotspot. The web frame hotspot does not work. These other 4 do work. However, they might disappear as well. And I'll tell you why, and it cost me some time to figure that out, is that when you have a polygon or a text hotspot or image or whatever, with one of those actions combined, such as an open URL that is not VR compatible, then the text hotspot or the polygon hotspot disappears as well in VR. Which is like, I have no idea why it would need to disappear. You can just disable the action, but that's 3DVista logic, which goes beyond my logic. Now, as you can see, there's all these limitations over here. And when you look in the 3DVista Facebook group, over here, you search for e-learning VR, you can see a lot of people asking for this kind of stuff. Is it already available or not? Some people have claimed that 3DVista told them end of 2022 VR e-learning would be there. It's not. So that's just how it is. Now I'm going to get into the preparations of this tutorial. I've done a few things in order to prepare this video. I've already created in my Minio S3 self-hosted bucket, a bucket called e-learning VR. In 3DVista, I imported a panorama from Aquascape, which you can buy at the marketplace for 27 euros. I gave the project a name. I added the JavaScript API v2 code to the main viewer, which you're going to be using later on. And you can buy this for 89 euros. And I've exported the current tour and to a local path, local folder, which I then going to sync in the terminal. So I'm going to sync my local folder with my S3, and I am keeping that sync on constantly. So it's watching for updates and it will automatically update it on my end. The reason why that is important is because when you're creating a desktop version or anything like that, you are more than good to just use the preview and the local host, and even for mobile you can do F12 and do the mobile skin and stuff. But for VR, you actually need to put it in something that is a VR device. And for that reason, I need to show this also on my phone. And on my phone, I can trigger the VR. So I'll be synchronizing this with this link over here using the terminal. So in the terminal, I've set up my Minio S3 bucket, and I use this MC mirror command, where this is my local path, where this is where I have my files, the folder, and this is my eLearn, my S3 bucket, eLearn VR. I'm using two things, override and watch, so that it keeps synchronizing all the time. So I just hit OK. I keep this running. And when I make a new change, you'll see that the host version over here will be updated right away, which is nice because then I can put it right inside here or in the VR device and quickly verify if what I'm creating in 3DVista actually works or not. So let's demonstrate that. I'm going to panoramas over here, hotspots. I'm going to create a text hotspot, even though I'm not going to use it as text. I'm only using the background. I'll be adding in some opacity over here. And just to show you that this works, I'll hit publish. So you can see this is my local path. Hit publish. In the terminal, you'll see that this will automatically start to recognize these files and start synchronizing this to the server. So that when I go over here and I hit refresh, you see that the white thing is appearing there. So that is going to help a lot in the creation of this tutorial. I'll also open this up on the mobile version, and as you can see, I see the white there. So now you only need to hit the refresh and I see all the updates on the actual device. And just getting back to here, and the other preparation I did is I got N8 and self-hosted on my site, and I created a new workflow for that. You can also use the cloud version of N8N, which has a very generous free plan. What we'll be doing, we'll be making sure that, well, everything works with the VR button and test it on mobile. That's the only thing we forgot. We still did not add the VR button. So that's the only thing that makes sense in the skin. Is over here, create a button, call this Open VR, and I add an action to it that says media control, on click, any viewer, and then here's a VR, done. I hit publish, publish. And it's already there. I'm opening up on mobile and got the button, so now I can open this up. I can use the Google Cardboard. I rotate the screen and I swipe up, and now I have the VR mode. So I can see right away which things do work and show up and which things do not show up, and quickly verify all these things. That's how I've been learning how to do all these things that I'm doing right now. Step 1, check. Step 2, creating first hotspot question cards. Then I'm going to show you how to add a second question. Then we'll be adding scores to the answers that we can then later use in the report with the JavaScript library. And then we'll be sending a webhook. Use the webhook to send the data, the score, whatever the person has reached, and put that maybe in an Airtable or whatever. But as long as it's through N8N, you can put it anywhere you like, any application, and that's pretty epic. And then we'll just refer it after that to a website with maybe the results. So you can say, well, this is your report, and make that an HTML up, whatever you want to do there. So let's get into this. So we got all of this stuff set up now. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the panorama, call this questions, go to hotspots, and as we already created this little background, I'm going to call this question card and then background PG. Now I'll be adding an image, insert new element, and I hit select the close circle button over here. Make this a bit smaller. Put this over there, rotate it a little bit. More than good enough. I'm going to rename this to question card and then close. And I'll be adding text to this. So I say question card. Question card. Now, there's I could do two things over here. One is I could keep all the questions within one place, or I could say copy paste and put the question over here as well, and question over here as well. And then I would need to also add a tag to all these backgrounds, because then this would be specifically for question 2, specifically for question 3, and this only for question 1. But I'm not going to go for this second way. I'm going to stick with just one version. So that way I don't need to copy paste these all the time. And I only need to copy paste the text hotspots that I'm about to create. So we got this. I'm going to add an action to this close button. Action, show hide hotspots. And on click, I'm going to hide all the question cards. Maybe I want to do only question card 1 or 2 specifically, but for now, I'll just do everything. At this point, I say on click, hide everything that has the tag question card within the panorama questions. If I have more panoramas over the project, like 10 panoramas, and I want to also hide the question cards in there, I need to click this close button, and then it will do anything in the project. Now it will do only specifically in this panorama. So I'm going to do anything in this project like this, and say hit done. Okay, cool. So we got the background, we got the close button. This is hiding everything that has question card tag. Now I'll be adding in the questions. So over here, we got the background opacity. Need to set that to 0 and add some text to it. Do you like this tutorial? Okay. This is going to be a little bit bigger font. I'm going to keep this bold. I'm going to rotate this a little bit like so. Make it a bit smaller. And however, I'm going to further design this. Now I've got this thing over here. So it's a QC question 1, Q1. And I'll be adding the text question card and question 1. Now I'll copy paste this thing over here, put it a little bit lower. This is the question, this is the answer. So this is going to be answer. So question card, question 1, question card, question 1, answer A. Okay, and this I'm going to not make bold. Yes, of course, that's the first going to be. I already liked and subscribed. I need to make this a little bit bigger. And let's see. I could make it like this, or just make the text a little bit smaller for the answers. I'm going to lock the background and the close button, so I cannot accidentally move those. So I got question 1, question, question 1, answer A. And I copy paste this, put this a bit lower, call this question B. Copy paste over here. Okay. So, need to have something over here. Do you like this tutorial? Yes, of course, already liked and subscribed. B, not yet, still watching. C, no idea why. Okay, cool. So, we've got this now set up. Let's see if this actually shows up in VR. So, we're going to hit publish. Refresh it at least on the desktop to see if it's already loaded. Yes. Okay, great. And on the mobile as well, you can see. So I'm going to open up in VR, use default, rotate it around, swipe up, and it's a bit difficult to present it to you, but you gotta believe me. So I can see all these things there. I'm going to hover over the close button and it closes. So that all works as it's supposed to go. Now, what we will be doing now, next up, is to add the scores to the answers, so that when you click on an answer, it will add a score. There is 2 ways of doing this. You can do the e-learning over here and say enable quiz, and use the scores over here. The only main challenge with this is how to send the score to your own database, to your own Airtable, or Basero or Shopify, or whatever kind of applications you're all using, where you want to have this data loaded into. So you cannot really get the score with some JavaScript. So I'm going to disable this. I'm not going to use the quiz here. What I'll be doing instead is I'll be using the JavaScript API library, which I loaded over here. On initialization, execute this script. And you can buy this on the 360 Creators Marketplace, 89 euros at this point. And this is the first script that will be loaded. Now, when you're having the script, then what we need to do is we need to create a score. So we copy the score over here, and we'll add another action, execute JavaScript, paste this in here, and say on initialization. So basically this little script is saying create something that's called my score, and this thing is how we can always get the score. We can add multiple scores. We can also say score 1, score 2, score 3, etc. But I'll leave it to this. So I hit done, and in the panoramas I would like to answer like add 1 point to yes, of course. So, okay, great. Add action, execute JavaScript, on click, and I'm going to say write this, paste, and here I say +1. So I can also say +2, +3, whatever. I'll go with 1. I hit done, and I'll hit publish, publish. Great. This thing is going on. It's good. Let's refresh the page. And with F12 we can get into the development tools of the browser. And over here I can say window.place it.variables.myscore. Hit enter and I see 0. And that's correct because that's the initial score. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the first thing. And I'm going to try this again. Arrow up to have the same thing, hit enter, and you can see right now I've got 1. So that's great. The variables are working. I can click a few more times on this. And because it's not disappearing, I'll have some more points now. So now I have 5 points. Okay, cool. There's all kinds of ways to do if this happens, then do that inside 3DVista with JavaScript. I'm not going to get into that right now in this tutorial. And there's ways to do if this then statements at the end when you're going to send the webhook and all the results, and then say if the score is this, then show this web page, or do that, or la 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 la. And that is then in end where you can do these things. So there's two places where you can do that. Now, we got the scores working. That's great. Now, what I would like to do at this point is to add the second question to it. We got the background, the close button, and we're going to keep everything in the same place so we can reuse those. We only need to copy and paste this, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Oh, this needs to be C. And this needs to be C as well. My bad. So I got a little mistake over here going on. I got the B to the C and the C to the B. So I'll correct that right now. This is the C. This is B. And put this back there. Okay. So question A, B, C. Great. Now I'll be copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And I'll be changing this to 2, 2, 2, and 2. I'll be removing this tag. I'll be adding in a new tag, Q2, 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 Q2. I'll be hiding everything that's question 1. Okay. And it's still showing up the same because we're copy pasting the same text. So what do you like the most on 360creators.com is to have, need to change it a little bit. And we're going to change the answers. So A is going to be marketplace, B is going to be community, and C is going to be community portfolio. Now, I know that it'd be nice to have something where you can say multiple choice. It is possible to do something like that. It's just extra challenging to do that right now. So I'll be sticking to just single selects and hiding everything when you click on an answer. We want to have this score everywhere. So let's copy paste this action. Need to click once on it and click another time on it and click a third time on it and then copy and paste. And paste. And now we can say, okay, the marketplace gets 1 point, community gets 2 points, community portfolio gets 3 points. Okay. Now the idea is that when you select any answer of question 1, it will show up everything from question 2. So, going over here, and here I have to execute JavaScript and add a second action to it and say show hide hotspots and then say on click show hide question 1 within this panorama. Done. Click, 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 copy, paste, double click and say show question 2. Done. Now I say click, 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 hold shift, click, copy, paste, and paste. So we just hit publish, publish. So let's see this over here. Yes. Okay, and even the close button works on the second question, so we don't need to redo that again. Let's test this also on mobile in the VR. Rotating the device, swiping up. Yes, of course, and I'm going to select community. But right now nothing's really happening when you select the second part. Let's see if the score is also working. So we got this over here. Now what we'll do is arrow up, and okay, the score is right now 0. Let's change something. Oh. And the score is 1. We hit community portfolio, and the score is 4. So that's great. That's working. We can close this off. Let's when you click on the second question, maybe also hide the other questions there. Let's say that it's done. And here I'm going to say hide everything that's Q2. or maybe even question card, just to end the whole thing. Copy. Oh, not on the question, my bad. Needs to be on the answer. Okay. Now it's disappearing. That's great. So that feels like it's done. And now also let's add the final part now is, okay, we can create those question cards as hotspots. We can get the score through some JavaScript. Now the question is, okay, the person is done with it. I would like to retrieve the score in my database, whatever. So for that, we're going to use webhooks and init. So we're going over here, add a first step, search for webhook, webhook over here. There's a test URL and production URL. The only difference is here, webhook and webhook-test. That's the only difference. So I copy this for the test URL. I set the response to using respond to webhook node, because then we can do some stuff in between. And I'm going to create an incognito mode where I paste this webhook in and I say question mark, score is 0. Now when I hit enter right away, it doesn't do anything over here, as you see, because I still need to do listen for test event. Okay, hit enter and great. You can see score is 0. Okay, but that's because we're filling this in here manually. This needs to be dynamic. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a text hotspot over here and call this send score. Okay. And the idea here is that we can say, okay, add action. And as the open URL does not work, or the web frame hotspot does not work, we need to find another way to use the URLs. And we can do that with JavaScript. Execute JavaScript. And I'll be getting back into here, and I can copy paste this. And the only thing I need to do here is change this URL with this, copy, paste, and that's it. So this is going to say, okay, open up this webhook, and then at the end is plus, and then whatever the variable is at that point that you set the score. So hit done. And let's try this out. This is the exciting moment, the moment of truth. Oh, just before, I would like to do something else with an init. As you're receiving the webhook, you can send this number, this data, to anything else as well. So it could be an Airtable or Affinity, OpenAI, MailerLite, MailChimp, Gmail, whatever kind of application you're coming up with. Base row, NoCodeDB, it doesn't matter. Shopify you can even send it to. So you can do a lot of cool things with this. But right now we're just going to say refer back to another URL. So we're going to say respond to webhook and respond with and then redirect. That's it. And then I'm going to add in my website. And that's it. Now I could say all kinds of things with a switch. I can say if the score is 0, then do this or do whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of cool things with this, but right now I'm going to cancel this again. So, all right. To summarize, we have over here the send score. So now we can say we click on something, then that's 1 point, and this is +2, so 3 is the score. We click on this. So now when I click send score, there should be happening something over here. So I can say test the workflow, and I'm going to say here send score. Okay, it goes to my website. Great. This is irrelevant. Sorry about that. And here in edit, you can see that something has been triggered. You can look up what's going on here. Score 3. So we got the data, and we're sending the user back to something, right? We can make our own custom report based on the URL, send all those numbers into something where you say, okay, there were so many questions and these are your results. You can make like a dynamic HTML page on that. But that's a little bit too much for now. So now we can do this on desktop. Let's actually verify that's also going to work in VR. So I'm going to test the workflow again. I'm going on my phone, refreshing the URL, and you can see the send score is in there now on the phone. So I'll open in VR, use default, turn the device, swipe up, and let's see, yeah, there we go. I'm going to say answer A. Okay, yes, of course, already liked and subscribed. And now answer B is the community portfolio. I'm holding it there. So now I should have 4 points at this moment. And I'll be going now to the send score button. So, okay, send score. And as you can see, now it's getting out of the VR. That might not be the best experience. That might be something you might want to say before people click send score, like, okay, send score and take off your headset. Or something like that, I don't know. But now we can see an N8N. This has been triggered. So let's see, is the score 4? Yes, it is. So, that's great. I hope this has been very helpful to you. What you can do with this, how you can make e-learning work in VR, how you can send scores anywhere you like it to have. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and have a great day. Alright, bye. See you in the next video.